Good evening and welcome to Horror Time. This is another episode of Scary Stories to fall asleep to. Before we get into tonight's episode, remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. And now, without further ado, tonight's story. The Party That My Grandparents Attended by Demasta Plays from Reddit/True Scary Stories. This is a story my mother told me a few months ago. It's about my grandparents and an encounter they had at a party. Also attending the party was a man who was later discovered to be a murderer. He had killed around 5 people over the course of his life. At some point during the party, they ran out of beer, and the murderer asked my grandmother if she wanted to go with him to get more. This man was known for always carrying an axe and had a reputation for killing women. He also happened to have attended some of the same classes as my grandfather. At first, my grandmother agreed and went to ask my grandfather for permission to go with him. My grandfather initially said yes, and they were about to leave to get the beer. But just before they left the party, my grandmother suddenly changed her mind and decided she didn't want to go anymore. At that time, the murderer hadn't yet claimed all of his victims. When I mentioned this story to my grandmother, she said she had a very strange feeling about him and felt unsafe in his presence. This story took place in Europe around 1975, I believe. English isn't my native language, so I apologize for any mistakes in phrasing. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Horror Time. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos. Have a great evening, stay safe, and good night.